So there I was, fighting a bear for a sandwich. Typically I would defer to the bear, but I hadn't eaten all day, and this was a really good sandwich. So I thought about it for a minute and decided what I'd do. I reached back, and I let him have it. I like that story because even if I tell you exactly, you still don't know what happened. I have a bad habit of mumbling. Makes it hard to understand me. I also have really bad handwriting. At least I'm consistent. The mug is for timing. It says simply 30. I'm not 30 years old or anything. I just like the number 30. I'm really glad you come every week. All pregnant women are bodybuilders. Now I made that joke up, and it's about the birthing process, so it's twice as original. A megaphone is called a megaphone because it makes things louder, but so does a microphone. So I think we have one too many words. I decided I'd carry this mug because I used to move my hands a lot when I would tell jokes. And one day someone asked me, "Are you Italian?" That really happened, and I was like, "No." Oh man, I can't read my handwriting. I'm not lying. I used to get really bad stage fright, so I used to close my eyes and pretend I couldn't see the audience. And then one day, while doing that, I fell off the stage. So now I have really bad stage fright. Not so much audience fright. Making fun of deaf people is unheard of, particularly by deaf people. We have a word for people who can't see, and we respect them, and we have a word for people who can't hear, and we respect them. We don't have a word for people who cannot sense flavor, and I, for one, think that's tasteless. I like to do this every week. I hope that was a good first impression. It was, of course, George W. Bush. I used to say it was Shaquille O'Neal and people accused me of being racist. But the fact is, gorillas weigh over 300 pounds, have black skin, and can't shoot free throws. You don't see a lot of colorblind gang members. But then on second thought, maybe you do, you just don't know it. They're never wearing the right colors. I went to a skinhead ice cream shop. They only served one flavor. I was like, "Man, do you have vanilla?" And they're like, "Yep." "Do you have chocolate?" "No." "What about Twist?" No. Twist, that's the worst one. They didn't stay in business very long. Coffee shops are a terrible place to meet women. Every time you buy them another drink, they just get more and more alert. And talkative. I was at a coffee shop one day and a woman started hitting on me, which was weird until we talked for a few minutes and she revealed she worked for FedEx. And I said, "That explains it. You're used to picking up outgoing mail." A couple minutes later in conversation, she said, "I really like watching the bold and the beautiful." And I said, I knew you from somewhere. You've been hiding in the bushes outside of my house." I was at the bar the other day and I saw this guy goose a woman. And then when she turned around, he was like, "Hey." He pursed his lips. So she reached back and she pursed his lips. That was dumb, I know. I dated a sniper for a while, and then when things ended, it was just so awkward. I never knew where I stood in the relationship. She always, every time we'd say goodbye, she said, "I'll miss you." Just in case you had to do do that, I came up with a joke about it. A blender's favorite song is "You Spin Me Right Round." Apparently only the blender thought that was funny. I saw two people fighting over a TV, and I thought, what a precarious position to stand in while fighting. I'm going to blame that on the blender. Putting down a coaster for your drinks is kind of boring, so I invented one with wheels. Roller coasters are way more exciting.
Yeah.
My car is a Cougar, but it's only 15 years old. Her name is Veronica. And my dad said, you know, the way you treat your car is the way you'll treat a woman. Which is not a good sign because my car is covered in dents. And cigarette burns. I didn't put them there. I saw on the news a lot of teenagers these days when they're depressed, they cut themselves, which is tragic and sad. And I thought, you know, when my mom is depressed, she just cuts her hair. So teenagers, if you're depressed, aim higher. It's a fact that bee stings every year kill more people than shark attacks. And yet, Jaws is way scarier than My Girl. A joke is hard if you haven't seen My Girl. It's about a boy and a girl, and the boy gets bit by bees. I have an astigmatism in my eye that throws off my depth perception. Makes me bad at every sport involving balls, except wrestling. It's true. Here's a couple science jokes for you. Sometimes they castrate animals. The end result is they're a little less testy. Think back to biology class. With all this heat outside, I thought, you know, lemonade is a good solution. Look up the definition of solution. That probably helps the joke. I tried to make peppermint at home. It's way more difficult than it sounds. Fair enough. When cannibals have to freshen their breath, do they suck on Mentos? Come on, you can groan for that. That's what it's intended. I wonder what's stronger, heroin addiction or a bear? I thought of that one earlier today. I just thought I laughed. Someone told me I was a crackpot, and I said, I've never done drugs. Thought of that one earlier today, too. Maybe I should let these stew for a little while. I try not to tell that many stereotype jokes, though, because, I mean, I am one. My eyes are half open. I'm really calm. I don't really have much of a short-term memory. So I know what you're thinking. It's not true. I've never surfed a day in my life. I have this crackpot theory. I'll give you some facts. See if you can figure it out. Fact number 1, the Earth's core is made of molten iron. Fact 2, this molten iron core is magnetic, and that's what gives us direction. Fact 3, men statistically have more iron in their blood than women. If you get that joke, you're sexist. If you don't get it, you're probably anemic. A lot of the jokes I tell seem to go over people's heads, which makes me think I should tell shorter jokes. This is the shortest joke I know. Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And now I have one joke. This goes out to Levi. Since he's taken off, I'll tell one joke about it. I used to carry a harmonica around with me in case I ever needed to be annoying at the drop of a hat. Problem is, not that many people drop their hats. And I got so good, didn't need the harmonica anymore.